Today we're going to get a look and a listen at this little guy. Hello YouTube, my name is Matt Spaugh and I am a photographer, videographer, and audio engineer in Atlanta, Georgia. Today's video is a little bit different than the norm in that I don't normally do product reviews, but there are a few things that have come across my desk recently that I really liked, and this is one of them. It is the MOVO VXR10 universal cardioid microphone. We're going to do a little bit of an unboxing and a very unscientific comparison between it and the mic that I've been using for quite some time, the Sennheiser MKE600. First of all, we have some basic instructions, specifications, how to use it. Don't need that. We have a customer satisfaction card here. It wants to know if I'm happy or not happy. Interestingly, we have a 1-800 number and a Pacific Standard Time phone number. So despite this being obviously foreign made, there is some US product support for it. So that's kind of nice. Getting into the package here, we have the microphone itself with a fairly substantial dead cat here. Got a little logo on it, foam inside. Actually feels quite nice. Put that there. The mic itself appears to be aluminum. It's, I don't know, 2.5, 3 inches long. Good size capsule. Next, we have the clip for mounting to the cold shoe, and this is just threaded. All of this is plastic, and this is not a proper shock mount in that these are not rubber and providing any kind of actual shock absorber, but they do feel pretty decent. So anyway, next we have some cabling. This is a expandable cable. This would be a tip ring sleeve connector. So a 3-way connector that would go from the rear of the microphone into your camera. Also included is this, which makes this a little bit unique, I think. We have a tip ring sleeve connector on the microphone end of this wire, but then we also have a tip ring sleeve, which is smartphone compatible. So you could use this for smartphone filmmaking as well, or anytime that you wanted to just record audio into your smartphone, this would be an option having this cable. Lastly, here we have a looks like a kind of cheap pleather little bag with some drawstrings on it that I guess would at least keep everything together in your bag if you use one. I'm going to do a somewhat absurd comparison between this microphone and the mic that I normally use for interviews and for setups like this. My regular mic is a Sennheiser MKE600. It's a good midline shotgun microphone. I think it runs about $300. This is $39. They obviously are nowhere near each other in terms of price. Secondly, the shotgun mic is designed to pick up sound in a pattern that's directly in front of the microphone and a small lobe in the back. It's called super cardioid. This is a cardioid microphone. It picks up in kind of an inverted heart-shaped pattern around the capsule. So this is not to say, should you buy this or the Sennheiser MKE600? Not by any stretch. What it will tell me is kind of how much difference there is in the output level of each mic, so how much sound is the microphone sending to the camera. And secondly, it'll give me a little bit of idea about the character of each microphone. No mic gives a perfectly flat frequency response. They're all going to favor different areas, and that's why people use different microphones for different purposes. So this will give a little bit of idea about the character. This is totally unscientific, and it's not an either or. It's just a curiosity on my part. For this comparison, I'm not going to use any external preamps. I'm going to run directly into my A7 III using this cable. This cable has a tip ring sleeve on one end and 2 receivers. What it does is it allows me to plug two microphones into my A7 III and split the signal between the two to the left and right stereo channels using the internal preamps on the Sony. I use this a lot in my work. When I don't have a preamp with me, I can plug the shotgun mic into one side and a lavalier into the other, and then balance between the two to get room sound or close-up sound. It's a really handy piece of gear to have. It's $5, and I will link it in the description down below. So let me hook these things up, and we'll just kind of get some kind of idea of the differences between the two. All right, so in what is no doubt one of the least scientific audio comparisons ever done on YouTube, I will now read from Chris Knight's The Dramatic Portrait, and we'll take a look at what these levels look like on the old screen. When shooting in studio, the position of the background can have an effect on how dark or bright it shows up in the image. Consider the relative distance between objects casting a shadow and what the shadow falls upon. A person casting a shadow on a background 1 foot away will produce a harder shadow than on a background 5 feet away. I'm 51 years old, and I've been playing in bands since the mid-'80s. My hearing is still pretty good, though. I test pretty solid up to about 16.5K. So I think I'm a decent judge of what sounds the same and what doesn't. And I did not hear drastic differences between these two microphones. The Sennheiser was certainly more articulate. It had a little bit more definition in the upper mid-range, but I think that microphone actually has a little boost in that upper mid-range that makes it good at what it does and why people choose it for the applications that they do. That said, the MOVO was awesome. 9 extra dB of gain going into the camera is huge. Particularly if you're a Canon shooter that's known to have really bad preamps in their cameras and you're not using an external, I think the preamps in the Sony are actually fairly decent. So that's certainly a consideration. But bottom line, I think that the MOVO VXR10 is an awesome little piece of equipment. And I think that if you're on the fence about buying one, you should get off the fence and go buy one. I hope you found the information in this video to be either educational or informational or insightful or entertaining. If you did, give me a thumbs up and a like and ring my bell and subscribe and all that good stuff. Tell 2 friends if you have to. And give me a comment down below if you have a microphone that you particularly love or one that you think is particularly awful. I'd love to hear about it. If you have experience, maybe long-term, with this MOVO mic and its longevity, obviously I just got it, and so I don't really have an opinion on those things. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Next time around, I'm going to do something similar on this guy. This is the Aperture Amaran F7, which is a small video light. It can be battery powered or USB powered. It's bicolor, and I have found it to be awesome. Very much like I found the MOVO to be awesome. So I'll keep sharing this kind of content and keep coming back and watching. Till next time, thanks. Bye.